Hi everyone, it's Chris. Welcome back to my parlour, and today is a test run video, and it's a test run for a deck that I have had for quite some time but have never used. And I was watching Divination Dragon the other day, and she was sharing this deck, and that is the Housewives Tarot. I've had it for quite some time, but I actually haven't used it. I love this deck. It's just a beautiful little deck. But I wonder how it works for readings. I'm not too sure, so that's why I haven't used it. But I'm going to give it a test run today. And I thought maybe you might like to come along for a ride. I've got my little sign up today, my own little vintage sign. I only have a kitchen because it came with a house. And I think it might go so nicely with the Housewives Tarot. So I'm going to give that a test run and see what might be happening. I'm going to give you past, present and future cards, so 3 cards each, a few charms in my serving dish, just to share with you this reading, and then I'm going to pour a cup of tea, because everything goes well with a cup of tea, and give you a choice of 1, 2 or 3. I don't have a visual reference to those numbers. Use your intuition. I'll give you timestamps, of course, for that. So 1, 2 or 3, it's up to you what you want to do. Okay then, so you choose and we'll go from there. Number 1, if you chose number 1 as your number, let's see what happens here. 1, 2 or 3. You chose number 1. So let's have a look. Past, present, future. Past, present, future. Past, present, future. Past, present, future. For the past, you have the Star. For the present, you have the King of Wands. For the future, you have the Tower. An interesting combination. The Star, the King of Wands, the Tower. You're basing, the future is based on the past and what you do right now. So the future is always based on what you do now. The past has an influence on the future because it's the way you learn how to do things, the way that you've always done things, the way that you've taught yourself or made those plans. You made the plans in the past, you put them into the present moment, you make those movements towards what you've planned in the past, and then you move into your future. These cards are indicating that your plans are well laid. Your plans are, they have the potential to be successful. So you've planned all that in the past. You've done all that groundwork in the past. You've put all your ducks in a row in the past. How sturdy are they? How well built are they? That's what's really important for this moment, because it seems to be that the plans that you're putting into action right now, which is the King of Wands, he gets everything. He seems to be a person that knows where to put things, but there needs to be a rearranging of that, because the Tower comes along and indicates that things are not quite as stable as you would like them to be. So this is indicating to me that it's time to go back to the drawing board. Yes, it would have worked and it was quite a successful plan, but in this time frame, the way that things are, you've utilised that plan, the way that you've put things together for that plan isn't as stable or isn't as reliable as you would like it to be. Does that make sense to you today? Your idea is great. Don't give up on the idea. It's a great idea. It's a whatever you're planning to do, whatever you want to do, whatever you're wanting to manifest, it's a fantastic idea. It's really, really good. But it all comes down to details. It all comes down to the work that you put into it. It's the way that you arrange things, the way that you put things together, the way that you implement your plan. The action that you put into it is going to be really important if you want it to be a stable one. Does that make sense to you today? Because I think at the moment you need to go back to the drawing board in this idea of yours. It's a bit harsh when you think about it like that, but it's going to be more for your benefit if you do go back to the drawing board. The plan is fantastic. It has success written all over it. But the way that you're implementing it at the moment isn't as stable, and your future indicates that it will not so much fall down around your ears or anything else like that, but it will stand up to to whatever it is that you want. It will take you into the future, but there won't be much beyond that to grasp and expand on. Does that make sense? So go back to the drawing board, rework your plan so it's more stable, and it will take you further than just a moment of success or a moment of fulfillment, because you want a long-term success, and you'll need to rethink that. Does that make sense to you today? I'm trying to put that as positively as I can, because I like brilliant ideas and I like people to succeed, and you have got a brilliant idea. It's not within the it's within the realms of possibility. Certainly is, but just sort of tweak it a little bit. Does that make sense to you today? Let's have a look at your charms. Oh, there's movement forward. Fast movement. Fast movement. This could be the Six of Swords, if you wanted to put it into tarot. Very fast movement forward. But the plane allows you to take baggage with you. So what are you taking with you in your trip forward? Is it appropriate? Is it going to stabilize your future? So whatever you take with you when you move forward, allow it to stabilize your future. Does that make sense to you today? Someone with green or hazel eyes. Oh, there is a creative solution. There's definitely a creative solution. You can create it. You can create it to bring you forward into the future. Have confidence. And a warm cup of tea. Oh, anything just feels better with a cup of tea. But have confidence. Have curiosity as well, because the cat comes through here with curiosity. So explore those ideas. Be curious about them. Because it's a dang good idea. It really, really is. Believe in yourself. Believe in the possibility that it will succeed. You can make a firmer commitment here. You can make a firmer commitment. Bluebird comes through with messages, really good positive messages for you in regards to this situation. Beauty and brains. Yes, you can do this. Beauty and brains. You're smart. You're curious. You're confident. And you've got this. This is saying, please don't follow the crowd. Put your individual stamp on it. Put your individual stamp on it. Don't follow the crowd. So when you move forward under your own steam, virtually, but also understand what you're taking with you and make it unique for you so you can build a better foundation for this brilliant idea of yours. Okay? Does that make sense to you today, number one? Thank you. Number 2, let's have a look at yours and see what might be coming through for you. Past, present, future. Past, present, future for number 2, please. Past, present, future. Past, present, future. Number 2. Past, present, future. Interesting, interesting. Past, present, future. Okay, let's have a look at your past, present. The past is the Queen of Cups. Present is 6 of Wands. The future, the Moon. The Queen of Cups, she knows what she's feeling. She's not a thinker. She bases herself on emotion. So at the moment, the past, you're basing your future on the past. And the future of the past, the future is a moon, but you're basing your future on the past, right? So the past becomes the future, its own future, which is the present. And then the present becomes your future. So at the moment, you're feeling quite successful. And the past here, you feel as though you've been doing a right thing. You feel as though, yeah, you're finally in the right spot here. You've done everything you can to make this feel right for you. You've put in the hard work and you feel quite satisfied with the job that you've done. And you feel as though, yes, I'm in the right spot now. I'm in the perfect position to do whatever it is that I need to do next. You're feeling quite good about that, quite satisfied about that. And you do, you feel quite successful. Other people have noticed you at this present moment. People thinking, yes, number 2 has done a really good job. Number 2 is quite successful at what he or she has achieved. Everything sort of seems to be spick and span. Everything is put in the right place. But is it? You've got all the tools there. And you've used them wisely. So you feel quite satisfied from what you've done in the past. And you feel as though, yeah, things are all working out very, very well. Everything is perfectly lined up for the next phase of your passion, of whatever it is that you're trying to achieve at this moment. You're trying to manifest at this moment. And people are noticing that. People are sort of thinking, oh, number 2's got it right. Number 2's got her or his ducks in a row. What better things are on the horizon for number 2? What better things are happening for you? Where can you go from here? What is your dream? What are you aspiring to? Is it realistic now? You've finished one phase of it and you're feeling quite satisfied. Yes, you've been successful. The next part comes through now. What are you going to do with the rest of your life? What are you going to do with the rest of your next 5 minutes? Success has been achieved. Success has been achieved. Yes, everything's perfect and everything will continue to be perfect so long as you know where you're going next. The moon comes through with what is practical, what is real, what is achievable. Are your next plans achievable? Are they realistic? Are they realistic? Are your dreams realistic? Where to from here? We've got curlers and cold cream. She's prepared for her sleep. She's prepared for the next phase of her life. But I'm thinking your next phase, from this moment on, needs to be as realistic as the first phase of your life, because you want to repeat that success. So look at your plans very carefully, realistically, so your future is based on your past, based on success. So it makes you feel as though you are emotionally satisfied. Does that make sense to you today? It's not saying it's not going to work out. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, but you need to be realistic if you want to repeat the success you've just had, the success you are experiencing now, because the experience you're experiencing a really good form of success at the moment. You're feeling quite comfortable with what you've achieved, but it won't last forever. That accolade will slowly phase out, and you're faced with your next challenge, your next phase of what it is that you succeeded at. So you want the next phase of that to be successful. So look at it very carefully, observe it, focus on the parts that you can realistically expect again. Does that make sense? Success is not always guaranteed the second time round. Does that make sense? I'm hoping it does. I'm trying to make it as positive as I can to say that you are on the right track. Let's have a look at your charms and see if we can find extra information about that. Well, success is coming through. Definitely. You got however that might mean for you: respect, renewal, refresh, rejuvenate. She's got the curlers and the cold cream here, so she's rejuvenating. Respect comes through here at the moment, I think. Repeat. Reinvent. Realize. Revisit. So you have a realistic plan for the next phase. Success will stay with you, and you have been successful, and you will continue to be successful. But the next phase needs to be a realistic one. Does that make sense? Because you have the dolphin. Dolphin means joy. Dolphin means, the playful side of you. The enjoyment, the satisfaction will continue. I like the dolphins. See both sides of something. So, you've got the success on one side and you've got the future to think about on the other side. How are you going to pan that out? How are you going to play that? How are you going to play your cards so you are a success? So you can repeat the success that you're having right at this moment. Or if you haven't quite reached that moment of success, because the present moment, that could be next week, it could be in a few more days, but it seems to be coming, and you will find that success. But how are you going to go the next phase of that? What both sides of the coin here? The swan comes through with commitment. It means sticking with the same thing, when it comes to a relationship, it means married for life, because swans mate for life. So this is something that needs to be brought into your future and to remain in your future. So if you want the success to remain in your future, It's a good indication that it will, if your next step is thought through carefully, realistically, and you can make this part of your life forever, because the transformation is definitely there. This will transform your life if you think carefully about it, because you want it to, don't you? You want this to be success. You want this success to last and to transform your life, and it will. This is an indication that it will. And this one, I've had this one a couple of times in a row now, but I think I love it because this is really important. How beautiful life is when you are in the world. The universe wants you to succeed, number 2. Wants you to continue with that success. Yeah. It's really important that you do, because that emotional satisfaction will continue with you if you're careful about what you do next. Okay? So hopefully that's helped you. Number 2. Number 3. Let's have a look at yours and see what might be happening for you. Past, present, and future. Past, present, and future. For number 3, please. 1, 2, 3. You picked number 3. Let's have a look and see what number 3's. Past, present, future. So the past, devil's food cake. The present, the future. Okay. Okay. The past, present, and future. We all know what the devil means. It's a temptation that, in this case, tastes delicious, is delicious, but is it very good for you? Are you being tempted by something that isn't right for you? Have you been tempted in the past by something that hasn't been right for you? You've come to that conclusion, I think. You've come to that conclusion because the Hierophant comes through here. The Hierophant comes through with things that are strict, traditional, hard to stick with sometimes, because it forces, the Hierophant forces us to control ourselves. It forces us to, not all the time, but in this situation I'm thinking the Hierophant puts us into a situation that we don't want to fall off the wagon, and so we restrict ourselves, sometimes a little bit too harshly, and then we feel as though we've lost something, that we feel as though, look, I've tried to juggle all this, and your future is going to be trying to juggle the past, which is that temptation that you've let yourself into, and perhaps you feel a little bit, I can't deal with this anymore, I'm going to have to control myself, I'm going to have to put myself into a controlled situation so I can't fall back into that temptation. But it's making you feel miserable. It will continue to make yourself feel miserable. So you feel as though, you know, I'm out here on my own. There's no support for me. I'm doing this for my own good, my own well-being. Yes, you're doing it for the right reasons, but it's making you feel miserable. Why are you making yourself feel miserable, number one? Why have you... I know some temptations really need to be purged from our life. But is this temptation so bad that you feel as though you have to restrict yourself completely and suck the fun out of your life because it's making you feel miserable? I'm going to give you an extra card just to see what might be happening here, because I feel as though I've got the feeling that everything in moderation is more beneficial for you at the moment, not giving up cold turkey. Cold turkey seems to be a very harsh way of purging ourselves of things that we no longer want in our life or know that it's no longer good for us. But if it's making us feel miserable, without support, feeling as though you're all on your own, is that worthwhile? Okay, what can you do now to ease that for yourself? You're giving it up. That's a good thing. And I'm not saying you're doing the wrong thing, but I feel as though it's making you miserable for some reason. So what can you do now to ease the burden so your future is more positive? What can number 3 do, please? Oh, it's really important. The 2 of Cups. Join forces with someone who's on the same journey as you, who wants to be on the same journey as you, who wants to support you in giving up this vice. Who might this be? Who could you turn to ask for support? Someone that is just... that once you meet them, once you ask for help, they will guide you and support you as much as they can, because they've been there, done that sort of thing. Can they support you in this one? Find support for you to help you, guide you, so your future can change, so you're no longer feeling as vulnerable or as out of place, or just feel as though you're just sort of, not really getting anywhere. So let's find another card for the future and see if this help that you ask for, that you reach out for, will help you. So how can we change your future? Number 3. Yes, it will. It will. And you have the Ace of Cups, and that's going to be the purge. You're going to purge it all over your life. You're going to take it all away, and then you'll remain. You'll have it. You'll be like an empty vessel, ready to fill again with new ideas, new enthusiasm. So yeah, let it all go. Whatever it is that's holding you back, whatever you feel as though is not good for you anymore, yeah, let it go. But don't do it alone. Find help. Find as much help as you possibly can, and then you will then be able to refill your life with positivity, with so much more potential than you've ever had in your life. Does that make sense to you? So you change that I'm alone, or woe is me, I don't know what else to do, to a positivity, because you're not doing it alone anymore. It's all well and good to do it alone, and that's really good, and it's, kudos to you for doing this. I'm really proud of you for doing this. Please don't do it alone. Please have that support of someone who understands you, who's coming from a viewpoint of been there, done that, that will help you, trust you, and guide you to a better, more fulfilling future when you are finally healed and feel as though, yes, now I can get on with my life, now I can restart, I can be born afresh. You know what I mean? Does that make sense for you today? Let's give you a few charms to see what might be happening for you, shall we? Ah, yes, it's nice. Have strength of mind, body and soul. Strength of mind, body and soul. So you can come and combine yourself, re-emerge a better, more alive, more enthusiastic person than what you were when you started. Mind, body and soul. Strength comes through here. And your guardian angel. Your guardian angel will help guide you to the right person to help you. Your guardian angel will guide you to that right person. Have confidence. You are perfect just the way you are. But what you're doing for yourself to help yourself is momentous. So have courage, have confidence in what you're doing. Knowledge is a good thing. So seek as much information as you can as well to help guide you. Don't go in this cold turkey. Not without the information to back you up. Does that make sense? And focus, aim, and make your future a prosperous one. More in tune with who you are, mind, body and soul. Does that make sense for you today? Number 3. I hope so. Thank you. Well, everyone, that was a mighty test drive, wasn't it? We got up a few hills there and down a few dales, up hill and down dale. And I think that was a bit of a deep dive, much deeper than I thought. So this is a deep dive deck. More of a deep dive deck than anything else that I've ever used. I do deep dive readings sometimes, and sometimes that's just the way they turn out. I don't intend it to be a deep dive, but just sometimes it just manifests itself, it evolves itself. It's like the tarot is taking me on a journey that needs to be on, that people need to be on. And, you know, I try to make them as positive as I can when I come across that deep dive reading, and this evolved into a deep dive reading. So this deck is definitely got a bit of punch, hasn't it? A bit of a kick. So it's a really interesting deck. How often I use it, I don't know now, because a deep dive is sometimes a little bit more than people are prepared for. So I hope I gave you a positive spin on your cards and that they were beneficial to you. Some may or may not be beneficial for you. So, but that's okay. That's okay. So it all came out well in the end, I think, for all of us. There was always a way to turn a situation that's fraught with emotional or physical or intellectual issues into a positive spin. I think there's always a way to do that. So I hope these readings help you, and yeah, especially this one. Whether or not I use it again, I don't know. But I just I can't pass it up, because it's one of those decks that I just really love. And I won't ever give it away. But yeah, be interesting. So thank you guys, and until next time, so many blessings.